Hello. So, as you go to your interview or the interview you've been invited for, do you know the document that you should be going along with or the things that are necessary for you to go along with? So, today I'm going to be telling you about things that you need to go with for your interview, things you should be going with for interview. So, number one, copies of your resumes and your cover letter. I've said this in a previous video. When going for an interview, make sure you go with at least 5 copies of your CV for your interviewer and yourself. You don't know how many people will come in for the interview, but I always recommend that you go with 5, one for yourself and other 4 for the other interviewers. And make sure you also go with your cover letters. It can help them to reference you, or it can help them to check your details quite properly and faster rather than going to the laptop to check your details or what you've applied for. So go with copies of your CV. That is number one. Number two is your references. Go with your references, copy of your references that are filled, but most times this is not required. But I always advise, just for you to be on the safer side, you go with your references. Remember, you've not put your references in your CV. If you've never checked our video on things you need to include on your CV, I think the video is still there on this page. Go back there and check on things you need to include on your CV and things you don't need to include on your CV. We said there that you don't need to include your references in your CV. So remember, you've not included your references on your CV. This is the right time for you to bring your references to the interview. So one, if you're going with your references, make sure you go with your complete reference in the documents that you fill your reference from, their contact details, your relationship with the reference, their phone numbers, their addresses, and who they are to you and how they are to you. Make sure you go with your references. So that is the number 2 thing that you need to go to in your job interview. You need to carry along in your job interview. Number 3, go with your portfolio or creative samples. When I mean your portfolio or creative samples, most times in some creative field like web designing, fashion, or architecture, most times you need to go with your samples, things you've done before. They want to see samples. It's not just by telling them that I've done this or I've done that. If possible, if it's something you have to show them online, make sure you remember your social media handle where you'll be pinning it down for them to see so that they can see the work you've done. They can check you out. They can check you out with what you've done and know that you are good for the job. Whether it's required or not, in creative agency, it's always good you go with your sample. If you're a graphic designer, make sure you go with your laptop to show them that this is what I've done. This is the kind of thing I've done. If you're going for an interview like a photography interview, you can also go with your camera. You show them your picture on your camera, the kind of things that you've achieved, the kind of quality of pictures that you can provide to them. Make sure you go with a sample of what you do if you are in a creative agency or you're in an agency where things that needs to be shown are visual. Make sure you go with a portfolio or your creative samples. So that is the number 3 thing you should go along with for your job interview. Number 4, go with your knowledge about the company. This might not be in written form, this might not be in hard form, but it can be in your head. You go with the knowledge of your knowledge about the company, what you know about the company, because you'll be asked questions. You might not even be asked questions, but if you go with the knowledge of what the company does, what they sell, what they offer, it might even give you a leverage because you now know how you can be of benefit to the company or what they'll be asking the candidate that is coming for the interview in that company. So go with the knowledge of what the company does. Don't go to a company for an interview when you don't know what that company is offering. When you know what that company is offering, you know that, okay, I'm applying as an accountant, not just that you just want to go there and be an accountant, but an accountant in an agency where you'll be able to function. Accountant in a banking agency is different from an accountant in a civil agency. So make sure you know what that company does. It helps you or give you a leverage over other candidates. Number 5, question for your interview. When you go for an interview, make sure you already pen down questions that you'll be asking your interviews. Either you can be asking them about the company or how they get there to that stage. I'll be dropping a video later on kinds of questions you need to ask your interviewer. There's some kinds of questions you ask and they know that you're a creative person. They know that this person is intelligent enough to function in this company or it will be of benefit to this company. Make sure your questions are creative. Make sure your questions are intelligent. Make sure your questions are questions that they can look at and say, yes, this is the kind of person we want for this company. So go with the kind of questions that you want to ask. If you pen them down, that makes it easier for you because you already know what you want to ask, not from it may not really be from what you were asked for that interview. So go with the question you want to ask the interviewer. Go with it and shoot when you get there. Number six, a notebook and a pen. Go with a notebook and a pen to your interview. There are some things that you might need to take note of. Most especially, you can take note of the name of the interviewer because he will surely tell you his name. So he wants to know if you memorize his name. Maybe if, for instance, you're called for a second time for the interview, they can ask you to tell them their names like they have told you before. They want to know that if you are someone that has a retentive memory. So writing those things down can help you. If they can tell you their goals, what the company does, I'm not telling you that you should go there and write notes. No, but you can just go there, pick point some little things that are necessary, some little tips that you've heard from the interview. It can help you as you go forth from the different stages of the interview, or maybe when you come up in the company, if you are called for the job, when you call for the job, all those little notes that you took during the time of interview can also help you to grow or to make you a better person in the company. Number seven, go there with a briefcase or a bag. When we mean by a briefcase or a bag, it's not for you to go and get something from them. No, because all these items you're carrying, you need to arrange them in a briefcase or a bag. A file might not be necessary. A file might not carry all this document or might not make you look professional. Make sure you go there with a bag or a briefcase. It helps you to arrange this document in the right proportion so that you will not go there and cause a mishap, or you not go there and start scattering your bag or start scattering all those paper you'll be carrying on your hand. So make sure you go with a briefcase or a bag. It helps your document to be arranged. It helps you to be a professional and come out straight in what you're doing. So your briefcase, your bag should always be with you. Lastly, number eight, make sure you go there to your interview venue with a positive attitude. A positive attitude gives you a leverage on how you answer your questions, on how you see people, on how you see the interviewer. Sometimes the interviewer asks you annoying questions, questions that will annoy you, questions that will make you feel like, why did I even come for this interview? Are you sure that this is the right job for me? But your positive attitude is what keeps you down. Just like they say, or what helps you to go up. Just like they said that beauty can help you or can attract you to a lady, but her attitude is what keeps you. So your attitude might be what will make them to call you for the interview. You might have missed every other questions, you might have missed all the questions that have been answered, or you might have even missed the most critical question. But your attitude you show in the job, the way you show your appreciation, and the way you relate with your interviewer might even make him to give you a second chance or call you for a second interview. So make sure you maintain a positive attitude in your interview. So if you can go with these eight items and other minor items, I believe you are set for the job, or you're set to be one of the candidates that will be looked at when it comes to the end of the interview. So make sure you go there with these items. And I believe if you've loved this video or the video is helpful to you, please don't forget to share, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe to our channel because we'll be dropping more video that will be of more benefit to you and your brothers or your sister. Invite them, drop your comments in the comment section, and help us to grow as we are helping you to grow. Thank you very much.